Hello, this is your girl Annette, Miss Delaware Classic Universe 2024 with the 2024 Wear Your Crown Empowerment Speaker Series. Now, the intent of the series is intended to inspire women and girls into their purpose, by hearing the stories of phenomenal women and girls who are sharing what they do, why they do it, and how you can basically support them. So make sure you stay tuned as my sister queen shares all of the fabulous things she has going on. You want to stay tuned. Hello, Queen. Could you please introduce yourself?
Hello, Annette, and thank you so much for having me. This is a wonderful opportunity and a fabulous platform. My name is MarQue Munday, and I am your Classic Universe Woman 2023-24. I guess I should just say 24 at this point. And I am a former Radio City Music Hall Rockette, originally from New York City. I happen to be one of the first African-American women to dance on the Radio City Music Hall stage as a Rockette. So that's super exciting and very exciting to share for our younger ladies and to just talk with them, especially my dancers. I love my dancers. But right now, as this crown holder, Classic Universe Woman, I am also the director for the Miss Juneteenth Nevada Scholarship Program pageant right here in Las Vegas, Nevada. And why that is so exciting and important is because the scholarship program is for our young ladies 14 to 19 years old so that they learn how to embrace themselves and use their power so that they always wear their crown, knowing that they too have a crown at whatever age it is, just being. You know, Michelle Obama said in one of her speeches that how important it was for everyone to understand, regardless of their origin, that their voice is important. And so we want to share that and encourage our younger generation as they're coming up so that they can make a stamp into this world. I think one of the other things I want to share about being a crown holder is that it's not a figurehead. You don't put the crown on and everybody starts bowing down to you. It really is a position of servanthood and community outreach and champion causes. So when your heart jumps and tells you that, you know, you should be on the front lines helping the homeless or going into the hospitals or doing charity work, that really is what it is about, being in a sisterhood in a pageant, wearing a crown and a sash. So it's always great to have our sisters because, yes, we do champion each other. And I'm so excited to just be a support for you as well. But outside of that, what you're doing now to get this message out. And I'm very glad for this opportunity. So thank you so much for allowing me to come on and be a support for your platform. I think
It
this is
is an
beautiful.
absolute honor. And you're right. So this series was birthed out of that exact reason, actually. So I went to, and most of you who have listened to me share this story before, I went to a women's retreat called G You Will, and we had this lady that I thought was cuckoo, Lynn Betts. She said, go out and find a tree. And I was like, find a tree. Oh my goodness. I got this cuckoo lady telling me to come out and find a tree. And she was like, yes, you know, and she gave us like some sage. And she was like, I want you to bring something back from the tree. And I'm like, okay, this is super weird, right? So I'm walking and people are making their way to trees. And I'm like, how do you find a tree? Like there are a million trees. Maybe I'll just pick some random tree and just be like, I found a tree. But I actually connected to a tree. And it was kind of by accident because I thought Lynn was cuckoo. So I'm walking towards this tree. And as I'm looking at the tree, and I'm like, does this count as a tree? It's kind of broken. Like the pieces are kind of hanging off. The bark looks like it's dying. And I'm like, but I'm still walking towards this broken tree, right? So I get to the tree and I'm like, okay, I found the tree. And I was like, okay, I'm supposed to leave the sage. And as I'm putting the sage down, I see like maggots like feeding on the tree. I see like water bugs feeding on the tree. There are ants like inside the bark carrying stuff down. And I'm like, as bad as I thought this tree was, it was supplying the forest, animals, the ground with so much life. like as we were standing, and I'm standing at the tree, and I started crying at the tree. And I'm like, oh my gosh, what is happening? Like it's a tree, and I think I picked up maybe a leaf or a piece of bark or something to take back. And I'm like, okay, get yourself together. And I'm like trying to breathe as we go back to the fire because she started like drumming, like that was our call to come back. So when we get back to the fire, I'm like, okay. And she's like, who would like to go first? And I was like, okay, so Lynn, I thought you were a little cuckoo. So it was to find a tree, but I connected with this tree and I told her the story and I like start crying again. And I'm like, wow. So the message I got from that tree, from that experience was be perfect in your imperfection. You are needed where you are as is, and you are able to serve in the capacity where you are right now because somebody either isn't on that level, somebody is looking at you, someone is learning from you. Your experiences, your knowledge is needed and it's valuable. Like
Yes.
we don't all have the same experiences, right? Even in pageantry, we don't
Right.
have the same experiences, but we come into it willing to give, willing to serve, because at the end of the day, that's what it is about. And ladies, I'm telling you, if you're looking for a pageant, Miss Classic Universe is an amazing pageant system to be a part of. So if you're interested, you can hit up myself or my sister queen, MarQue Munday. She is out here, you guys, every day. So how do we follow you? How do we keep up with everything that you have going on?
Well, I am on social media. I got a TikTok. Well, and you'll find me. So it's MarQue Munday on TikTok. It's Classic Universe Woman MarQue Munday as well on TikTok, as well as Facebook and Instagram. I do also have a LinkedIn for MarQue Munday. But just if I can piggyback a little bit on what you were talking about, your experience with the tree, it's about it's about growing where you're planted and being available to serve in the areas that you are. If you happen, like you're in Delaware and I'm in Las Vegas, so we are serving and doing in the communities around us, and as well imparting that knowledge to our younger generation. The interesting thing that I have working with our young ladies, 14 to 19, these are high schoolers, is that they're still vibrant and full of life and full of aspirations. The goals are still sparkling in their eyes. And we know as women, after you have a family, after you've been out in the workforce, after you've been kicked a few times, that light starts to dim. But you're right, the sisterhood of our pageantry is what keeps us reigniting the spark and that
Yes.
sparkle in our eyes so that we continue to go, grow, and give back into the community. It's about taking the challenges in your life and not seeing them as a negative, but as a positive. Some of the things that I've been talking about are the fact that gold and silver are refined by fire. And I'm sure that that doesn't hurt. That I'm sure that that hurts and is not, not,
Yes.
as well as if you want to be a diamond, if you want to be a gem, you've got to be pressed.
Yes.
That pressure in life, that pressure on the gem to make it as beautiful as it turns out, that's the pressure in life that we go through when we are hitting those challenges. So it's about being able to take that challenge and keep moving forward and knowing that that's a positive thing for your life. Because when we look to the word, we know the blessing is just around the corner. So we don't want to quit too soon. We don't want to quit, period. We have to find that thing that is within us. And when you join a sisterhood, like you said, Classic Universe Woman, I had no idea that I was going to do a pageant as an adult. I did one pageant growing up. I think I was 12 or 13, and it was for the Else Club back on Staten Island, where I grew up. I'm from New York. And that was it for me. To think that I would go into pageantry. My background is in musical theater. So I'm a performer. That's what life was going to be about. And a girlfriend of mine, who we were Rockettes together, was in pageantry, and she was in Classic Universe. She actually had the title Ms. Classic Universe last year and gave her crown away. But she told me about the pageant system right on time, because I had gotten involved with Juneteenth Nevada and went to the national organization, and they had a scholarship program pageant. And the director here, the actual president here in Nevada, said, how'd you like to, do a pageant here? And I thought, well, if I'm going to do it, I need to get some experience. So let me find a way to learn about pageantry.
Yes.
Classic Universe, my girlfriend said, hey, why don't you come to this meeting? So I go to the meeting. Long story short, we see what has happened with it. But in that, I can't tell you, Annette, how much as a person, as a woman, I've grown myself. We have to remember that we are individuals in this world. You'll have sisters, you'll have literal sisters, brothers and sisters, family members, but whatever that passion is that was placed inside you individually, that's your walk.
Mhm.
And whatever your spirituality is and how you find your faith and your trust is you walking out those things that you feel within yourself. And once you're on that road, the Bible says your gifts will make room for you. So the doors will open that are necessary for you to walk through. And as well, with faith, you will close the doors that don't need to be open so you can kind of avoid some of those pitfalls. But the whole process of the pageant and life at this point now is really about, for me at least, about seeing where I fit in and can use the gifts that I've been given. I've had an extraordinary life and many opportunities, have traveled the world. I tour every year to Australia. I work with a group called Radiance. There's so much that I had been missing that I didn't even realize. And when you look with a pageant system that says, embrace yourself and your possibilities, a like-minded group of sisters, so a sisterhood, and to use your power to empower others.
Yes.
Man, the doors started flinging open, and I was like, oh my gosh, I didn't know that I could be of service in so many different places. And I am an author, and I have a couple of books that are out there on Amazon. But it was really interesting because as a pageant person, you usually have a champion cause, or you have words that you live by, or you have an affirmation and quotes. Well, in my book, I wrote down, and these are my words to live by. Doing nothing is a non-negotiable. So I can't just sit here and do nothing. My intention in life is to live out every reason that God created me to be here and to give back to the community, to God's people, to my friends and family, to whatever is in need, so that when I'm finished here, as we go into the next realm, I have truly left it all on the floor, as we would say in the theater. Leave it all on the floor, leave it on that stage, because why would I take it with us? And that is the other thing, that once we depart from this life, you can't take any of this stuff with you. So why hold on to it? Really go for it and leave it all on the floor. My brand is Discover and Live Your Dream Life. And the book is called 7 Steps to Discovering and Living Your Dream Life. And I would encourage those who haven't found their way or figured out what it is that they're truly passionate about or what their gifts are. Grab that book. It's a really quick read. It has a workbook section in it, and it'll help you define your purpose in this, at this time, I'll say.
You, girl, I ain't even gonna tell you if I did not have these glasses on. When I tell you a word, no, a few words. Look, every speaker I feel like is intended to be the year that they share. It is not only their time, but usually something that they share is for me. So I look forward to every speaker, and I don't actually turn down any of our speakers because I feel like every woman has something to share that's going to impact someone somehow. So there are some people who are like, well, why don't you share men? Why don't you share this? And I'm like, I share who is led to participate. I put it out there, and I have a plethora of women who respond, and I am honored by each and every last one of them. Thank you so much for seeing value in sharing for the 2024 Empowerment Speaker Series. It is super important for women and girls to see a variety of women moving in purpose. And you're right, you have a purpose, like everyone. You listening, even if you skip through and only heard a little bit, please go back and listen to the entire episode. You don't want to miss it. Is there something else you would like to leave with our women and girls?
Well, I would like to say this because I've been doing this with the delegates. Remember that your place in life, you are never in competition with anyone. I can never be Annette. Annette can never be me. I can't be any of my other girlfriends, and they can't ever be me. So know that you are divinely created for such a time as this, and your gifts will make room for you in this life, in this world today. So do not dim your light. A light that sits on the hill is never dimmed. It is never in darkness. It's always going to shine. So be who you are. Be your queen and wear your crown.
Well, thank you again so much for joining. I hope that everyone looks at the information below. If you want to support what Queen Monday is doing, the Juneteenth events, she has a lot happening. If you want to purchase her book, if you want to make a donation, all of that information is below. She also does speaking engagements. So if you're looking for a fabulous speaker to come and share, make sure you look her up, connect with her. If you're looking for a powerful, impactful, inspiring voice, make sure you look up my sister Queen. Thank you so much, Queen.
Thank you so much, Annette. Thank you for having me.